The amount of abandoned ancient noble palazzos in southern Italy recount a country's history full of secrets, wealth, and glory. But what does it take to buy a noble palazzo, breathe life back into it, and make it your own? Today I'm taking you to Rutigliano, Puglia, to show you how one palazzo from the 1700s has been transformed into a luxurious B&B. Then we'll tour another 16th century noble palazzo for sale, one with details you won't believe. Of course, our time in Rutigliano wouldn't be complete without a stop for dinner in the town's finest restaurant. Andiamo. Ciao guys, so we're in Rutigliano today in the province of Bari, a beautiful little town with a medieval center which is gorgeous. We're going to be seeing two palazzi, one to be renovated and one renovated to kind of give us a bit of inspiration, right? So this is Porta Nuova. Let's go and have a short tour of the city. Rutigliano is a town of around 18,000 inhabitants, located within the metropolitan city area of Bari, the capital of Puglia. In fact, it's only 20 kilometers away from Bari and its international airport. Heading through Porta Nuova into the medieval city center brings you directly under the main church, located in the cozy Piazza Umberto I. It's dedicated to both Mary and Saint Nicholas, and parts of it date back to around the year 1000. The front facade faces the east, and its beautiful ancient entrance is adorned with columns and sculptures of lions on either side. Above the door is a sculpture of the Annunciation and the 12 Apostles. The city prides itself for its artisan history in making terracotta figures, a tradition dating back to the Neolithic period. So there are two hypotheses from where the name Rutigliano comes from. The first is that it derives from Rutiglia, which is an ancient Roman noble family name, basically attesting to how old this place is. The second is that it comes from the adjective rutilus, meaning reddish, referring to the clay-rich earth, which makes growing grapes so advantageous in this area. Just a few minutes walk from the cathedral through picturesque winding streets lies the serene Piazza Colamussi, a place of meeting and cultural events throughout the year. But peeking above it all is one of Rutigliano's architectural highlights, the vigilant central Norman castle, built in the 11th century and around which the medieval city was born and developed. Why did I choose Rutigliano and to find a beautiful home here today? Well, it's because not only am I a property finder, not only do I publish these videos on YouTube, but I'm also a videographer and photographer, and oftentimes I have work in which I make videos and photos for real estate agents, but also for people looking to publish their announcements on booking.com for tourist rentals, B&Bs, and things like that. And in this case, I figured, well, making the trip anyway, why don't I turn this into a video for you guys? Because I think you'll find really special the place that I'm going to have to take these photos. It's in this palazzo right behind me, and it has a very interesting story because it's just been renovated. It was a wreck, and they just finished, I think there's about 9 suites inside for which I have to take videos and photos. And because Rutigliano is a bit far from where I'm living, I'm also staying the night. So I figured I'm going to show you this house, this palazzo, and then we're going to see a palazzo for sale that could be renovated. Inspiration, right? Let's go in, find my room, and get ready for work.
Come te non c'è nessuno. Tu sei l'unico al mondo, nei tuoi occhi profondi io vedo tanta tristezza.
I think there's an elevator right around the corner here. Yep.
Così timido e solo, e se hai paura del mondo rimani accanto a me.
Let's go see the room. I am in room number 8. I just got to put in my code here. Guys, this place is beautiful. I have to show it to you. So this is the bedroom. Massive. They put in these new ceilings made out of wood. They integrated the old tiles, which we love to see. There's the bed. We have this massive balcony here. You can look out. I think there's a little alleyway over there. TV here in this nook. Little cupboard. Some closet space here. It's called Palazzo de Lumi, Rutigliano. It's a suite, so we have this living room. My gosh, look at that fireplace. I'm immediately attracted to that fireplace over there. And a kitchen. Look at the walls, guys. This is amazing. Revealed stone. Love the look. And just gorgeous. I'm going to be resting on this couch a bit later. And the pièce de résistance. This beautiful fireplace. I think the palazzo's from the 1700s. When they got it, everything had to be renovated. So it was a wreck. And so the ceilings that you see here weren't there initially. They had to put all of those in. They redid everything, every single aspect of it, the floors. They recovered a lot of the tiles. They recovered a lot of the original materials, but it's all renovated. So let me get my camera gear and get to work. Camera. Check. Tripod. Check.
Palazzo de Lumi's renovation is a dream project come true. It's 550 square meters with 10 apartments spread over the first and second floors of the building. I was impressed by its renovation because of its respect and requalification of the original elements. The frescoed ceilings, stone walls, tiles, and elegant choices in furniture. I think it's a perfect example of what modern Apulian design can be, a harmonious union of old and new. It also has a spa and pool downstairs, under maintenance while I was there, but also a 200 square meter rooftop terrace. But you may ask, how much did it cost to purchase and renovate?
Okay guys, so I'm done working. I've taken my photos, I've done most of the videos, and before I head out to dinner in Rutigliano, I found somebody here in the Palazzo who I think you might want to hear from. So, this is Dana.
Hi, hello everybody. So I'm Donna Mignon. I moved here many moons ago, around 20 years ago, and invented myself, as many expats do here down in the south. I've always worked in properties, so that was kind of, what I fell into. So I'm a licensed real estate agent, and I mainly work with overseas buyers looking to invest in Puglia.
What does it take to kind of renovate a palazzo like this? So maybe we just have an insight on that.
Well, the main thing as to what it takes is patience. Seriously, patience and relatively big pockets for something of this size.
Right.
So there's always going to be inevitables. This building was completely, it didn't have any ceilings, didn't have any floors. So all the floors have basically been, these are the old original cementini tile floors.
Gorgeous.
And it's beautiful the way it's been done. We haven't completely covered the whole floor in it. It's just got resin bits and just makes it a bit more interesting, and it's all the ceilings have been redone and, all the stonework revealed, etc. and the fireplace.
Fireplace is gorgeous here.
So anyone who's going to embark on anything like this, you can't really think that it's going to take a couple of months.
Obviously, the person who buys a palazzo like this, where you're renting it out and you're preparing it to rent out, so I feel that it's something that you're valuing the patrimony of it, but you're also trying to generate some income with it, right?
Yeah, so something like this, from experience, having done this a lot from villas with pools and apartments in historical centres, if you're looking for something that's going to give you a really good return on your investment, they both do. But in terms of the running costs, a palazzo or an apartment in the historical centre somewhere, especially with the sea view, if you can add that into the mix, it's more cost effective. and you get, and also when you're in historical centres, which well, especially if you're in a town that's close to the train station, then you're going to get a longer season. So the villa season's shorter, the apartment season's longer.
Are we allowed to know the price range for a palazzo like this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, so something like this. Well, it depends where it's going to be.
Right.
You know, if you're in Ostuni, it's going to be $1 million plus.
Right.
This is like half that. And the one we're going to see tomorrow, that's on the market for $590.
Okay. So same range, right? More or less?
Same range, more or less. This was a good buy because it was kind of half finished as well. But there was still money because it was kind of, it had a nice dress on, let's say this one.
Right.
But when you're looking at the installations and the pipe work and all the rest of it, so there was actually hidden things that need to be done in this palazzo.
And so they actually finished the work on it to get it up and running for a B&B. It's like, what, another 20% on top of the purchase price?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Donna, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's about dinner time for me, so head out into town and get something to eat. Tomorrow we're going to see the other palazzo. Andiamo.
Excellent.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Dinner is at Terrazza Bassavilla, highly recommended restaurant in the centro storico of Rutigliano. It's built inside of this defensive tower, this medieval defensive tower, but it is getting dark, so let's go inside and grab something to eat. We're starting off with a rosé wine. This is a Primitivo from the area. Very sweet, very aromatic. Great to whet the appetite. Grazie. This is fresh bread, warm, right out of the oven. Still warm and soft on the inside. It's like pizza dough.
Allora, qui abbiamo una fregola sarda. Io ho messo con cozze, un gambero e sopra vede anche uno scampo crudo e vedi una stracciatella, una colatura di stracciatella, un olio verde, quindi al prezzemolo, e ho messo una colatura anche di datterino giallo.
This looks absolutely amazing. Wow. It's the texture that makes it. Oh, so good.
Qui abbiamo il nostro piatto tipico barese, lo spaghetto alla sassina, quindi è uno spaghetto praticamente bruciato in padella con del pomodoro, semplicissimo, ovviamente piccante.
It's still very hot. That's the assassin part.
Qui abbiamo il baccalà,
Sì.
quindi cotto a vapore, quella salsa che vedete è un aglio nero, quindi una spuma di aglio nero che si fuma, e quelli sono semplicemente delle cicorie basse.
So after the two pasta dishes, I don't have much room, but okay guys, so our streak for dessert goes on. This is a peach sorbet, and they've made it into the shape of a peach. Ciao guys, so we're in front of the palazzo that we're going to be touring today. This is a beautiful piece of history in the center of Rutigliano. I chose it because it's very similar to the palazzo that I'm staying in. You have a ground floor, a first floor, a top floor, rooftop terraces, and it's a historical palazzo from the end of the 1700s, the early 1800s, has belonged to the same noble family for centuries. And as you'd expect, it has some magnificent, just really breathtaking rooms, architectural features, and also furniture from the historical period which it comes from, which is just amazing. I love touring homes like this. I hope you guys like it. Let's go inside and have a look.
So we enter in through the main door, which has the stem of the noble family that built the palazzo right above it, and it brings us into this very large entrance hall. Before I forget, 590,000 is the asking price, and it's divided over 3 floors. You have this ground floor, first floor, second floor, around 700 square meters more or less, and about 23 different rooms. So this is a very important palazzo. We'll have a peek though at this ground floor. These are the basement complexes, the cellar complexes behind it. Architecturally very beautiful with the barrel vaulted ceilings. This can be developed into something really unique, perhaps another spa pool area similar to the one that was in the other palazzo that we visited earlier. As you can see, the details on the ceilings, on the walls, and on the rails going up the stairs are beautiful. This is a noble palazzo, and so these are details all originating from the 19th century, most likely. Also, plenty of light in this entry area from the light wells and the very large windows on the walls. And on this first floor, we have 2 different options. They do wrap around, so we'll start on this side and give you a look at the exquisite details and workmanship of the wood on these doors. This will bring us into the main atrium on this side. Very tall ceilings, as to be expected. And this atrium kind of gives you access to all of the different wings of this floor. There's just another look at the details of the door, which I could have stared at for 5 minutes. But there are other surprises, including what I think is the highlight of this floor, and it's this ballroom. I was absolutely speechless when I walked into it. Exquisitely kept and maintained. As with the rest of this palazzo, it's lived in, so it's not abandoned, and all of the historical characteristics have been valued, maintained, and cleaned. This is a sort of a tea room, a reception room, which you would have had support in from perhaps a pianist, a harpist. You have those beautiful instruments from the epoch. Delightful. We'll have a peek out the window. This is the lateral side of the palazzo, which gives you views from the balconies on one of the main streets of the Centro Storico below. And we'll have views like that from all of the rooms on this side of the building. On this wing, you have the sleeping quarters. We'll get back to those. But for the moment, we'll backtrack into this gorgeous ballroom because we have more characteristics to see about this. Just to note, the fabrics on the walls, the fabrics of the curtains, you can see the mirror on the wall. Everything is exquisitely kept. It's been valued. You have the chandeliers and the details on the ceilings. It's really like being back in the Belle Époque. Here, I'll give you a better view of the views down there. It's a very quiet street, very typical. We're right around the corner from the cathedral, as you may have noticed before. And so yes, these are very high ceilings, probably something around 6 meters. And this is a cute little detail. This would have been a little heating unit from the time period. You would have put hot coals in there. And we'll just admire that once more before we go further into this wing of the palazzo. Now, as you can see, that's the other door from that first floor entryway coming from the stairwell. And this is, I think, one of the most interesting rooms because of the floors that we have on it. I'd qualify them as the most beautiful cement tiles I have ever seen, just in terms of the complexity of the design, the colors, the richness of it. Absolutely stunning. And we'll go in through these beautiful doors to see another floor with absolutely amazing cement tiles. Everything is of the same epoch here. The ceiling details, the floors, the height of it all. And you've noticed that the furniture in these buildings are all from the same time period. This is the vanity. So I can imagine a princess doing her makeup here before going out on the ball. This is the time period that we're talking about. And we'll go out here to see just another amazing highlight. It's highlight after highlight here today of the first floor terrace. So this is a terrace. The foliage you may recognize from seeing it on the outside because this overlooks Piazza Umberto I, the main square next to the Cathedral of Rutigliano. So I will give you a better look at that. There's the Norman tower, bell tower of the church. And so you can see this really attests to the importance of the noble family that built this palazzo, that it's located in the prime of the prime location in Rutigliano. Those are other doors and windows giving entrance and exit from this terrace. And we'll go back around and you'll see where those lead to. And we'll start backtracking so I can give you a look at the other areas of this first floor. This is a very big, majestic palazzo, and we have lots of things to cover. So another detail is the vase here, which is gorgeous. I love the benches going along the walls here. I could stop at every piece of furniture, but then the video would be 5 hours long. So this is another inner room. So this first floor is 350 square meters. It is divided into 16 rooms. And the layout, you can see on the screen that I left there with the tarallo, you can see where we are. You have this kind of middle column of rooms. You have that right side with the ballroom and the sleeping quarters, which we'll have a look into now. And then on the other side of the palazzo is where the kitchen is and where the dining room is. So these are currently set up as bedrooms. So this would be one of the smaller bedrooms. And we're right behind that tea room, behind the ballroom that we saw before. Just to give you a quick detail of the armoire here and the absolutely amazing woodwork done on it. Just stunning, just beautiful. We'll go through this other bedroom here to this back room. This is one of the more main bedrooms, and that's attested to by the balcony that we have looking over that back street, but also the very high arched ceilings, which come to a point. Really beautiful. Take note also of the framing along the doors. They're all in wood, all from 100 to 200 years ago. Now we're at the back of the palazzo, and this gives us these beautiful balconies overlooking one of the main pedestrian streets of Rutigliano. Still a very calm street, but you have the beautiful architecture of the other important homes of the time period all around us. But you can see that this palazzo is definitely one of the most important historically for the area. In fact, it's called vincolato in Italian because the cultural superintendence of the government has classified it as being under protection for its cultural, architectural importance for Rutigliano. So this would be a sort of a living area. Here we have another balcony similar to the one that we're out on, and a family portrait from pre-photography times and a photography testament to the family. So I'll give you a bigger look at this, just a massive space. Another piece of furniture which interests me is the chess table. And we'll go back through this sort of middle column of rooms, and I'll give you a look at this side of the first floor. So this built here in the middle, so there's some light wells coming in from the ceilings. Those are stairs going down into the garage. This is a unique characteristic for a building like this. You have a two-car garage with entrance from the back. This is one of the back rooms. This has a fireplace, a very interesting fireplace. The stones are dated from I believe the 1880s, and that big wooden piece seems to be a reused piece from an olive grinding mill. You can see from that kind of elliptical screw type shape going up, going through it. Would be typical for that, at least for grinding of some sort, whether that's grain or olives. I'm not qualified to say. And so yes, 1888 is from at least when the stones originate. So this would have been a cooking pot that you can put through there. This is another terrace here, a little balcony looking back at that main street once again. We're still on the back side of the palazzo. Very beautiful. You can have a better look at the details of the back facade of it. You can see this is a bit more of a modern build, built onto it later on. And I'll bring you back through here just to give you a better idea of what these stairs are about. Now, this is one of the more, I think, interesting characteristics of the palazzo, because it's not too often that you have something in the main square, the centro storico, with a garage in the building. But that is because of this built-on structure, this more recent built-on structure that we have here, which is a perfect place for storage, but also, as you see, this garage area down here. So you have the door, and you have room for 2 bigger cars, or perhaps even 3 small cars. You can probably fit 3 Fiats in here. And this gives us also entrance into the basement and cellars from before. So it comes full circle. We'll wind back through here, and I'll give you a look at the kitchen. So this is the historical kitchen. As you can see, the stove, the fireplace, the oven there, all in copper from the time period. Just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Once again, nothing's abandoned. It's all very well kept. It's all very well maintained. There's really not much you would have to do in terms of maintenance for this. Very diligently kept, I must say. And you even have figurines in the back, for which I mentioned Rutigliano is famous for. And these are of Carabinieri, so a kind of Italian police force. Even have some of the utensils, pots and pans from the time. Probably still not used, although perfect, beautiful decoration for the space. Here's an inner room for the kitchen. And I'll head through this area, and we have an exquisite, beautiful dining room. Here we have the high ceilings. Everything is painted. Everything is as beautiful as it was 150 years ago, with some absolutely beautiful pieces of furniture. Here we also have cementina tiles, which are beautiful, and a cupboard made of wood and stone, which is just absolutely stunning. I'll give you a better look at the height and details of the ceiling. Also, the walls have the same decorations going around it. This is pure aristocratic living from the 1800s. And we even have a bathroom here in the back. Now, a bathroom from a home from the 1800s is a very rare sight. And so this is, I think, one of the kind of testaments to how important this place was. In the 1800s, you didn't have bathrooms in the properties. And those are the windows looking out on the first floor terrace that we saw before. This was a beautiful copper piece hung on the wall. Beautiful. Really, really beautiful. There's art all throughout this house. This is a time capsule. And I think a place that has so much potential once it's been requalified even further, similar to perhaps the palazzo we toured before, Palazzo de Lumi. And so I hope that gave you a bit of inspiration. I can see a combination of the aristocratic noble elements from the Belle Epoque that we have in here, combined with modern sensibilities and a modern requalification. This can be a very special palazzo. Now we're going on to the second floor. The second floor is 265 square meters, and it's divided into 10 rooms. This is completely to be redone. And so we're just going to have a peek into this one room, and it'll give you an idea of how the other ones are. But just to leave you with the idea that there's plenty of space here to have a house like this redone similar to the palazzo that we saw before. These are 10 different rooms which can be turned into suites, into bedrooms, and the region of Puglia does offer financial support for renovating a place like this, I believe up to 50% under certain conditions. And so here we are on our Apulian rooftop terrace. This is perhaps one of the best rooftop terraces in the whole town because we're on the main square and we're neighbors to the cathedral. So this leaves us with that breathtaking view of the bell tower, to which we're on an even level. I did have a beautiful day of weather here too, so the skies were blue with those beautiful clouds. And so this building encapsulates the noble qualities of Rutigliano to the highest degree. It's an absolute gem, and we have tons of rooftop space which could eventually be developed into something interesting as well. There you can see the Norman castle in the back, and so we'll take a little tour around this rooftop terrace and kind of give you an idea of how big the spaces are. Do you dream of owning your own noble palazzo in Italy and turning it into something special, a B&B, a luxury B&B for yourself? The opportunities are out there. Guys, like, subscribe, comment. I want to know what you thought of these two palazzi that we saw today. And of course, a very special thanks to my patrons from Patreon. If you haven't yet, please check out my Patreon and consider supporting the work I do on this channel for you. Grazie, and until next time.